think now is the right time to put the store at the center of the commerce media conversation, purely because I personally believe people have been too obsessed with e-commerce. If you think about retail sales in general, the majority come from stores. Like we're talking 80–90% of retail sales, right? So my question to the industry is, why has everyone been focusing on that 10% of where retail sales are happening in e-commerce? Why do I think they've been doing that? Because it's easier than the store. It's easier to implement, it's easier to track, it's easier to get away and create a brilliant buzz story around it. But now is the time to start looking at that store more seriously. And I think not just because of the retail sales that are happening in that store, but because it's where you can create genuine moments of connection with customers. It's an opportunity to interact with customers, it's an opportunity to drive brand awareness, drive trial, but really crucially, create that moment of conversion. If you don't link it up to your wider kind of brand campaign that's happening above the line through those traditional media formats and also through the digital campaigns that you're doing, you're just losing that opportunity to ultimately close that sale in the store. So for me, the store is super important. It should be at the center of everyone's strategy. And I think for commerce media, it is definitely the next frontier that people should be focusing on.
Well, as the store is super important, the store is not just a store anymore, right? And it's also not just a sales channel.
Yeah.
It's a media channel. How should retailers rethink the idea of the store and its importance?
Yeah, I think retailers are fantastic at retailing product, right? They're great at merchandising it, they're great at putting it on the shelves, they're great at basically creating that theater in the store. But what retailers are looking to do in a really competitive space is create loyalty, create repeat visit, to increase basket size, to get people to shop more regularly with them. And to do that, you've got to create a brilliant customer experience. And I think media is actually a really powerful tool for the people who are leading those businesses to create brilliant in-store experiences. When it's done right, it can absolutely complement that shopper experience, whether it is to drive trial of a product or to create that engagement with those shoppers so they understand more about your product. People want to touch and feel product, right? Like it doesn't matter whether that is grocery or whether that is department store, whether that's a specialist retail. People are going to stores to discover and understand product that they cannot do in a digital world. So for retailers to think about their kind of brick and mortar stores as something more than just a place to kind of, sell product, that is the opportunity here. And that's why brands are really interested in working with retailers through their commerce networks, their retail media networks, to create those experiences. And if you can do it right, you can prove to them that yes, it delivers on their KPIs, yes, it can deliver an uplift for their brand, and yes, it can deliver the uplift in sales that everyone's looking forward to.
Leaning into the in-store media experience, what's uniquely powerful about that? I mean, compared to, say, the on-site or off-site touch points?
Yeah, I think in store, we were talking a moment ago about that physical interaction with product, right? I think that is one of the big ones. But secondly, for the store, it is also an opportunity for brands to bring their brand to life. Brands are always looking for ways to speak to people. They're looking for opportunities to be able to engage with not only their existing customer base, but new demographics as well that they're trying to attract into their kind of brand and their product range. There's a really interesting stat around grocery specifically, which talks about how as consumers, we tend to only buy a handful of the same products every week. We get to know a brand, we like it, and we just, if we're in a digital world, go click, order, repeat. If we're in a store, we know where it is, and we're really on a mission going through that grocery store, right? So for a brand to interrupt that journey, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to look at something and go, I'm going to pick that up, I'm going to try it, I'm going to take it home, I'm going to see what my friends and family think. But once you've done that once, you're more likely to do it again, and then it's more likely to become a repeat product in your weekly shopping basket in a grocery experience. So sticking with that kind of grocery area, it's a brilliant opportunity for brands to bring their products to life through media. It's a brilliant opportunity to drive trial, and it's a brilliant opportunity to get people to then repeat purchase and do that more so in the future. Another great example would be in travel. One of our partners, WH Smith, they are found across hundreds of airports in the US. You may know them from from InMotion and the tech, but also the consumable products that they offer when you're running for your flight and you need that bottle of water. They're looking to create moments of trial for brands, because you're going through this moment where you're in a closed environment, you can't escape an airport until your flight is ready to board. And so for the brands that they're working with, they're trying to get you to actually try something for the first time, or to pick up something you may have forgotten back at home. And so for brands, that's a really exciting new opportunity. And I think for anyone in that kind of travel eco-commerce space that is looking to create these commerce networks, there's a great opportunity to do something that you can't do with other media formats and that you can only do through commerce media. And that is really exciting for brands.
Wanted to look a little beyond the store, or within the store and then beyond the store, when it comes to those in-store activations and how they can live within broader media strategies.
I think, look, I've said the store is really important. I'm passionate about the store. Everyone knows that. But it is really important that it fits into your broader media playbook and your media plan. If it is not integrated, I hate to use that buzzword of omnichannel, but if it is not omnichannel, it's a flawed media plan. It needs to work both from the store, but it then needs to work on the e-commerce platform, and then it needs to work off-site as well. As shoppers, we are not linear shopping. So why is your media plan linear? It needs to really interact with people across their complete journey, wherever they are interacting and whether they choose to interact. And we've got to remember that how someone does something one day will be different to how they do it the next day. And so brands need to show up through that entire journey to ensure that they're really talking about their brands in the right way, with the right message, with the right product at the right time.
So Sean, thinking of those multiple mindsets that consumers bring with them to the store and beyond the store, can you provide an example, several examples maybe, of where retailers are tying the in-store experience to a larger commerce plan that maybe moves the needle a little bit more?
I think what I love seeing is when brands take key moments in the calendar, whether that is a big national holiday, or whether that is a big sporting event, or maybe even like a concert that's going on with a big artist. And they look at their target base and their demographic and they think, right, how can we speak to them in a moment that's personal to them, something that's really important to them and their friends and family. And brands, I think, are doing that really well can be seen through the kind of sports cycle, and people who are looking at where that sport is taking place, where is the stadium, do location media around it, talk to them in digital format, but then ring fence that as well and go into the physical environments that are around that, then going through to how people are getting there. We talked about travel earlier, but how people interact with them from literally the moment they leave their home to that destination for the sporting event, and then ensuring that they're talking to them throughout that. If it's a series of sports or a season of sport, they really continue that message all the way through. And then if you think about it being a big moment like, the Super Bowl or something like that, how you take those big brand advertising moments and then make them understandable and repeatable and really nascent with their target consumer. I think brands that are doing that right are doing a great job with it. And I think if you look outside of the kind of sporting world, there's other moments around that brands can focus on. Holiday weekends is a great example. And there's some brilliant things coming up next year that I think brands will be looking to as well to celebrate and do with purpose. For example, you've got the World Cup coming with soccer, brilliant one to go after.